And it's all about us getting our steps in order, because balancing, it takes a lot of strength out here, to get your life balanced. We out here juggling stuff all day, every day out here. Our life tough. You wear all of the hats out here. Picture somebody with 8 different hats on. That's you. A baseball cap, a skull cap, a chef hat, a parrot hat. You got your work hat on. You trying to get you some self-care on out here too? It's a whole lot to balance, and it takes a lot of structure. It takes a lot of structure in your day. It takes a lot of structure with others. It takes a lot of discipline. This work-life balance out here ain't no joke. You sitting out here working 40, 50 hours at your job, and you trying to come home and you trying to get you some time for you. You trying to come home and you trying to teach your children. You got a spouse. That's a hard juggling act right there. Most people can't juggle 10 things at one time out here. And so what we do, some things suffer. We tend to do the most important things first. The most things that you got to prioritize. Your children's health, they self-care. And you put that over your needs sometimes, your self-care, your wants, That's just how that goes out here because it's a hard balance. But we got to make sure that we're intentional with all our time out here. And that goes for everything that we do out here. You working a job. You got to take care of your family. You got a whole lot of stuff on your plate. You ain't got a lot of time on your hand. So everything you do, it has to be intentional. You got to make sure that when you working with your kids that y'all working. You got to make sure when you get a break that you can really get some time for you and get your self-care on. Do your needs. Get your hair done. Go out. Go shopping. Whatever you like to do out here because it's serious out here. And sometimes we neglect ourselves out here. I'm a big one out here from doing that. Sometimes I neglected my self-care in my mind, because I'm sitting here taking care of everybody else. And that's what we got to do out here. You a parent already. Your kid's struggling. You feed them before you feed yourself. You got to get your wife together, whoever you with, your husband, whatever you got going on out here. You got to make sure they structured as well. You got to make sure that they feelings are right. And it takes a lot of discipline. And sometimes you get your time away. And what you do, you just sleep on it. You just slept the whole vacation. The kids went with you this whole weekend, but you ain't catching up on your sleep yet. So you just did nothing, wasted time. But that's okay because you need that time. But we got to get structured out here. Sometimes we got to get our mind structured out here. Sometimes you still healing out here yourself and you got to take care of all these responsibilities. Your children going through some things. You sitting here trying to take care of your parents and do your work, but you still traumatized over some stuff. You still haven't got over that old relationship. You still dealing with this trauma from your child who's sick and you trying to struggle and trying to help them maintain. It's a hard thing to juggle. So it's important that we get our sleep in order because my sleep wasn't in order like the last month or so. And I couldn't work. I couldn't make videos consistent at all. I couldn't get on here and turn this camera on like I'm doing today because today I'm feeling good. I got a lot of energy. Last month, I didn't have no energy. Something was pulling on me. My children was going through some things where I had to put them first. I had to do my work. I just got a new job and I had to do my work there and I couldn't worry about YouTube. I couldn't worry about even my self-care because I wasn't balanced with my time yet. But it's no excuse though. We can't just waste time out here and say we didn't have time to do this. We didn't have time to do that. I didn't have time to write in my book and write in my journal. Because I know you working 2 jobs. I know it's hard going to college. You got 3, 4, 5 children in your house and a spouse. Sometimes you a single parent trying to juggle this. So it ain't easy just to say you should make time for this. You got to do that. You wear all the hats, It's a juggling act that many people can't do. But you got to understand, time waits for no one. We got to structure our time and make sure that we go into counseling if we need counseling. Because if your mind messed up and you still stuck and you still fighting yourself and that trauma from back then still hunting you, that takes a lot of your time. Because a lot of times you just sitting in anger. A lot of times you sitting on your Facebook and the YouTube and the TikTok for 3, 4 hours a day. I've been victim of it. I've been doing that, not healed yet. And here I am just surfing the internet on YouTube 2, 3 hours. And I'm talking about, I can't get this done. I can't get that done. But here I go, bullshit and watching some bullshit videos. Or here I am even lost on the internet. Now I've been on there so long. Yeah, y'all know we all victim of that, and we gotta have our fun, and we gotta be get our time to bullshit and just kick around too. But we gotta be intentional with that time, cause time ain't waiting for no one. You know that you didn't work out none last year, and you saying this year I'm gonna make sure I work out. Now even if you work out just 1 day a week, that's 52 times a year. But remember last year you did 0 times a year. I'm not trying to rush nobody work or telling you you gotta hurry up and get to the top quick. I'm just telling you to just be intentional with your time. Take this time, this good time, and spend quality time with your children when you gotta spend it. They can't be on vacation and you just stuck in the bed all day. Take them out a couple days, you know? Let them go out to dinner. Let them have fun at the skating rink. Whatever y'all like to do. Chill in the sand. Go to the park. Be intentional with that time, because you know the windows go close out here. We ain't gonna always have that time. You ain't always gonna be feeling bad like you've been feeling 10 years from now. And 10 years from now, guess who moved out? Probably 2 of your 4 kids, you know? And that's a whole lot of pressure on you. Guess who get the more income now? You. Guess who get the more help now? You. But be intentional with the time, because that time ain't waiting for you. It ain't waiting for her. It ain't never waiting for him either. Because once them windows shut, they shut. So we got to make sure that the bad habits ain't getting in the way of time as well. Like I said, all that internet surfing and Facebook searching and Instagram looking. Yeah, you be on that 2-3 hours sometimes. I'm victim of it. Delete them apps. You don't need to be on there that week. You know what I'm saying? I delete my Facebook and Instagram accounts all the time. You know, because I said I'm gonna be structured this week. I'm gonna make sure I'm doing everything I need to do this week. I'm getting my hair cut today. You know, I'm going out with my son later. You know, I'm gonna make me a video later. We'll have dinner with the family at 6:30. Being intentional with the time, because if we ain't intentional with our time, we ain't gonna be able to get none of this done. And you go look at the line of the people that's doing it, who really doing it, ain't nobody in that line. Look at the people who talking about it all the time, just running their mouth. It's a long line of them. They can't get nothing done because of this. They can't get nothing done because of that. We get hard life. We get you a single parent. We get all this. But I'm just telling you, let's be intentional with the time, because we all got our ups and downs. You got to get disciplined out here and go to that necessary healing if you got to. You got to start doing that praying more if you ain't doing it. Because a lot of times we neglect to do some of the stuff we need to do. You've been wanting to enroll in school for 3 years now, and you haven't done it yet. Look at all the time that you wasted doing nothing. You know, internet surfing, like I said, just chilling, just lounging, going to the casino, going to the club. You make sure you do that 15, 16 times a year. Have your fun, but make sure you're intentional with the time, though. Make sure you can enroll in school. Take one course at a time. You ain't got to be a full-time student yet. Take your time. You say you're going to start driving. Take your time. Do a couple hours a day. You ain't got to work every day. Just do it a couple days at your pace. Work at your speed out here. God's speed ain't meant for you to just go fast and just get there quick and put it in the microwave and just do it. But God wants you to be obedient to Him. He wants you to not waste His time and not get on double time out here, like I said, with them bad habits. Now you're smoking. Now you're drinking. Now you're at the casino. That takes up a lot of time of our day when you could have been doing something positive. You ain't read them books all year that somebody gave you. You know, sometimes we neglect our time with our children because we're not being intentional with our time. It's a whole lot of people who got a lot more on their plate than you, and they getting a lot more done. And that's not to compare and compete your life with no one, because we go get it when we get it. But you got to understand, you got to sacrifice some of these things. Sacrifice that casino. Sacrifice that FanDuel for a while. Sacrifice that Facebook and that Instagram shit. And get your work done. That stuff ain't going nowhere. You in the dating pool trying to find a woman, trying to find a man. If it ain't the right time, it ain't gonna work. You know, God sent you to just spend your time with your children. You know you a single parent. You know you don't get much help as it is. And I know you want your companionship. But if God give you those instructions just to go ahead and just hold it down with them kids, just go ahead and settle them down for a while before He lets you out there, He gonna let you out there. What's for you is for you. He gonna get you what you need out here. But just make sure you being intentional with your time out here. And that's what we all gotta do, people. Watch yourself, watch the time. We all on different speeds. Don't try to speed up with him. Don't try to work at his pace or her pace out here. Make sure when you want to get these things done, Make a schedule. You know, I wasn't big on schedules. I wasn't big on goals. Sometimes you miss the schedule, you miss the goal. So what? You did it 3 months later. Sometimes you do it earlier than what you thought you was. But just be intentional with the time and getting it done. That's all I got. Motivation comes in many forms. Lamborghini Lamar.